welcome to a very special version of Popcorn and Plot Holes. We've gotten rid of the popcorn and the plot holes, and it's just me and Spencer.
We're the and part of Popcorn and Plot Holes.
We are the and part.
We're the and the and.
That's right. We are not going to review The Electric State like we said. Because
we're dirty liars.
We're liars. Two reasons. One, we're liars. Two, we watched Mickey 17 in the theaters and we thought we wanted to talk about it. Also, if you're wondering, you shouldn't be, but if you are wondering what happened to our other members of the team,
they're dead.
They died.
We ate them and we're wearing their skin.
Yeah, don't watch the video version of this if you post
It's very disturbing.
That's not what you want to see. They may or may not be reincarnated next week. I don't really know what God or Jesus they follow, so it's hard to tell.
They're not getting away from the Electric State that easy.
No, but I mean, maybe they've got maybe they're a what do they call it? Is he a replacement? Recycled? What's the Mickey 17? What is he?
I guess, do they have a name? Oh, they're called Expendables.
Yeah. Maybe they're Expendables like Mickey, and so we'll have Luciano 2 and Chris 2 next week.
It's got to be at least Chris 4 by that point.
Wow, that's probably honest, yeah. Chris 25. So we are going to talk about Mickey 17. Mickey 17 is the Cameron Britton vehicle that was released this year in theaters.
Who's Cameron Britton?
He was the doctor, the quiet doctor guy who was always like running experiments on Mickey.
Oh, yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
He's good. I've seen him in other stuff.
Yeah. It's like a guy you see, but you don't know who he is.
Yeah.
Let me click on his IMDb while we're talking. We're going to do the same thing we always do. We are going to talk about the movie in the first half and ask some funny questions in the second half, and then call it an evening. Might be a little shorter.
Don't forget, we're going to wow you.
We are going to wow you. I think he was the creepy murder guy.
Yes,
from Mindhunter.
in Mindhunter. I was going to say that.
Yep.
He was really good in that.
He was. So he deserves a vehicle. So let's get into it without further ado. Spencer, what did you like about Mickey 17?
There's a lot to like about this movie. I liked Robert Pattinson's character, who sounded, once you notice it, you can't unsee it, he sounded just like Steve Buscemi. The whole movie, I was like, who does he sound like? And then once it clicked, I was like, oh my God, that is a bang on Steve Buscemi. So when you watch it, ignore that, because it will take you out of the movie. But he's just like, it's a weird voice. Oh boy, another tough day for me. It's like Woody Allen too.
Yeah.
But he's very, it's really impressive how different he sounds from him.
It makes sense. I don't know. I've not looked up anything to see if he did model it after Steve Buscemi, but it feels like it's one of those things where you want to model it after a person if you're going to do such a different voice. So it makes it easier to like capture it. You know what I mean?
It definitely is. You could definitely tell it's like it has to be influenced by someone else, because if not, it would seem like so fake. Like, you know what I mean? Like you have to base it somewhat in reality, because it's such a weird voice. It's almost like a Jerry Lewis, like neurotic. Oh boy, my girl, she's the greatest. It's like like these. It's but I liked it. All that to say, I really thought it was like interesting and different, which is refreshing in any modern movie, and it's an original movie, so obviously it bombed.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not an original idea.
It's a book.
It's a book, and that book is called Mickey 7, which, sure. I mean, I don't know. I don't know anything about the book, and we're not going to talk about the book because we don't know anything.
All I know is there's 10 less Mickeys in it, apparently.
Good things from my end of the spectrum. It's a good cast. Like everyone, they have a talented
really good
cast of actors. And it's unfortunate, as we'll get into it, the movie doesn't gel the way you'd hope it would.
Hey, this is positive. This is positive.
Sorry, positive. I'm positive that, like obviously Robert Pattinson, say what you want about him. He's actually a pretty good actor overall.
Yeah, he's really good. I don't think anybody says he's not anymore.
Well, the Twilight's really
Yeah,
he
but
really
like
had to
that's
work.
you got to work
that
away from. But
stank.
after Batman and
Wow, I mean,
like Harsh Times was that a movie he was in?
and he did like the Lighthouse thing.
The Lighthouse, yeah. Like I saw that there's like a meme where it's like Robert Pattinson fans like 10 years ago, and it's all like teenage girls, and it's like Robert Pattinson fans now, and it's like 40-year-old smoker guy. He's so good. It's like just like totally flipped.
Yeah, that's what you want. I feel like that's your goal in life. Just to get,
Career trajectory.
yeah. But yeah, well, other people in the cast obviously have Steven Yeun as Timo.
I love
he
him.
He plays a
general.
really fun part. Yeah, his part's really fun.
Mhm.
We have Ruffalo, Tony Collette, and it's funny because they're like not even listed that highly up in the cast, just because they don't. I think they come in later, but they're also
They're in it a lot though.
They're
yeah,
it's
more
hard
than
to
I
say.
thought.
Because we have like Cameron Britton who shows up a lot, and then Naomi Aki plays Nasha, who is the main love interest.
Yeah, she's obviously one of the main characters.
Yeah.
I think it was also one of those situations where they put their names at the end, but it's because it was like, and Mark Ruffalo with Toni Collette. So I don't know if that's why they're listed so low, because they were in it more than having them like bottom of the billing would indicate.
I think so. I remember listening to a podcast a while ago, and they were talking about billing and how that stuff works. And I think like it's a way to give people a higher billing, because it's like they're not the first person. Like obviously Robert Pattinson is the main star, but when you're with, and it's like you're ahead of like a lot of the other people in the list, even though you come at the end, because it's
you give him an and. It's like a
gives
big
you
deal.
special. Yeah, and this guy.
It's like and Samuel L. Jackson. He's always and Samuel L. Jackson.
So yeah, well, yeah, that makes sense. It's Samuel, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about this movie a bit. You and I we talked about this a bit before the movie. Just to let everybody know how cool we are, we met up early before the movie and played Magic because we're super cool, awesome guys.
Just to get a little lubed up.
Just to get real horned up.
Get a little loose.
Get a little loose for the movie.
We played one long Magic game.
Actually, I played another long game on the weekend, so don't feel bad.
That was good.
So what, like, because we were talking about this during Magic. It's like, what are we expecting this movie to be? Because we watched the trailer. I watched the trailer, and the trailer was basically like, hey, they kill Robert Pattinson a whole whack of times.
Yeah.
For reasons.
I'm down.
What else did you expect?
Down. Well, I was expecting it to be a sci-fi movie with kind of like, I thought the main plot point was going to be the fact that he's cloned
right
every time he dies, and then it was going to like deal with the ramifications of that on a society, and then sort of there's like spoilers. It kind of shows in the trailer too.
Yeah.
But like they think he dies, so they clone him, but then he survives. So there's two of them, which is not allowed. And I thought that was going to get into sort of like more like philosophically, like the ramifications of that, and like which one's the real, like the, is he are they all him? Are they all different? That kind of thing.
I should have said this about 10 minutes ago, but spoilers, we are going to ruin this movie if you haven't seen it yet. So
go to the theater, see it.
Stop right now. Go to the theater, and then once you've watched it, turn this podcast on immediately to finish.
Or don't. I'm not your dad.
Do it. You cowards.
That is your dad. So
I am your dad.
Listen to your dad. Go see it.
Listen to your dad. Watch. Anyways, but yeah. I don't think the trailer. I wasn't prepared for double Pattinson.
No, you weren't.
No, I know there was a duplicate in the trailer, but I just assumed they would do like movie magic, or I kind of thought maybe they'd off the duplicate, or I didn't really know what to expect. And there's a ton of double Pattinson throughout the movie. Like it's
like two main characters almost.
Yeah. And to your point, Spencer, they did have very distinct personalities between,
which was also a problem for me.
Yeah.
Well, I like that they had two different personalities, but they didn't explain why he had two different personalities, and they also didn't explain.
I thought it was when they kicked the tube out of his clone, and they have to plug it in real quick. I thought that might have been, but that was quote unquote the explanation.
So I thought that too, but that was only for Mickey 17, not
Right.
for Mickey 18. Mickey 18 was the one that was super different.
Well, only compared to Mickey 17.
But we saw Mickey before he was Mickey 17. We saw all his versions, like him going to the planet and him like signing up. It was always like, oh boy, I'm gotta find a new life for me. Gotta go to space. Oh. And then like Mickey 18 comes and he's like, God, you're such a loser. I'm Batman. Fuck you.
That's true. He was Batman.
And it's just like, I
Well-
was like, oh, okay.
This kind of gets to the point I talked about with you after the movie, and my beef with this movie is that it's really apparent that this is a movie made off of a book, because so much of what happens in the movie kind of doesn't make sense, and I'm sure the book had more time to explain it all, and the movie kind of just skips and flies around to
Kind of just like,
to answer things.
kind of like does the old hand wave.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
fine.
don't worry about it. It's fine.
And I'm willing to like let that stuff slide, but
Sure.
it wasn't even like the main story of the movie. Like the real story of the movie becomes about humans trying to destroy a race of aliens on this new planet.
Right. What is humanity? Is humanity kind, or is humanity the United States of America?
Basically.
Yeah.
And spoilers, they're the United States of America, except for Mickey, basically. Until the end. I mean, it's just like I didn't love that shift in focus from the story. Like in my ideal, again, the movie in my head was like more about like the concept of the cloning and having expendable clones, and then the ramifications of that. And then I thought the two of them were going to like kind of overthrow this like corrupt capitalistic society, you know, which is it is tropey, but it's kind of with how stylish and well made it was. I was like in for it.
It's fine. Yeah.
And then it just kind of shifted into like kind of a more not environmental, but like kind of like genocidal, you know, like a colonialism. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like it changed its like theme like almost halfway through.
It's kind of like the Assassin's Fist Street Fighter story,
Don't you dare!
where it's like, well, like you're watching and it's like, oh, it's about Ken and Ryu and how they learn from their master, and then all of a sudden it's like, no, it's Akuma and this guy. Like,
you have to
fighting
fighting
each
last
other.
podcast to understand this movie.
Yeah.
You've definitely never seen it, but
You
it's
haven't.
not the movie you want to be compared to.
But it feels the same, right? It's like it's not as abrupt as that is. Like
No,
there's
no.
cause for it.
No.
They do, but it does feel like I wanted to know more about the Mickeys and the morality of cloning, and less about these like semi-cute space slugs.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't like the space slugs were fine,
Yeah,
but I would like the whole like him dying 17 times is like a montage. And it kind of would have been cooler
Yes.
if they showed his like I just find the concept so cool. It would have been really cool to see him be like die for the first time, and him be like trying to like be like, wow, that was crazy, and dealing with that, and then him slowly getting used to dying, you know, and just like that in itself as a character study would be much more interesting to me. Now, if you're more interested in like a kind of comedic, almost like a take on Trump, you know, and like kind of like a satire-ish thing, then maybe you would like it more than me. I just was kind of bummed that I didn't get what I wanted, which was like, I guess I kind of wanted more of a drama, even less of like with little hints of comedy.
it was very
Goofy.
So the director was Bong Joon-ho.
Yes.
Who, you know, he's done some good work.
I love Parasite. Like I really enjoyed that movie.
And I think we were expecting a little more seriousness like Parasite and less comedy.
Like what
comedy
have
and
you seen
Snowpiercer.
any of his other movies?
He did Snowpiercer.
I saw
right?
Snowpiercer.
Yeah.
And if you've seen Snowpiercer, I highly recommend a YouTube video that describes how Snowpiercer is actually a sequel to Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. And it's fantastic. And it'll kind of blow your mind. But I've seen Snowpiercer, and I don't know if I've seen anything after that. Parasite. He had another movie about like an animal, which I feel like is more in tone with this.
Okja.
Okja. I never saw that.
Yeah.
Okja?
Maybe Okja.
Okja?
It's straight to
Okja?
Okja.
Okja.
That was straight to Netflix, I believe.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's so I just wonder again. This comes to me that you mentioned wanting to know about Mickey. Again, this is like where books shine and movies fail.
Yeah.
Because books let you live in someone's head, and it's completely fine to describe what someone's going through and what they're thinking and doing. And a movie really has no outlet. And they do a ton of Mickey talking.
I was going to say they tried their best. There's a lot of neurotic man narration.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh my God. On this planet
it kind of like I don't know if it stops when we get to the second one, but it's I can't remember. But anyway, so the point is like it's still it needed a book. It feels like it's a book, and they just didn't know how to represent it. And I wonder if, like you said, the biggest complaint I have is that you shift from the Mickey-ness of the story, and you really skip by all of the fun questions that creating a clone of somebody creates.
Yeah, exactly.
And you just go to a generic, don't kill the space slugs, be better humanity ending.
Well, and also, I mean, it wouldn't have bothered me as much if it seemed like that was something that mattered to Mickey. Because it's almost like he doesn't care. He's just kind of like going through actions. He's very passive as a character.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't like seem to even like realize. There's not like a moment where he like realizes something, like why he needs to stop this, what, like how this affects the world or the people. He's just like, oh, they weren't trying to kill me. I thought they just didn't want to eat me because my meat was bad.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, oh, they're actually not. I mean, even if they're just animals that want to eat you, you still probably shouldn't kill them all. But once they realize that they're like didn't want to eat them, that's like a big reveal. And that's the other thing that I wanted to. Sorry, I don't. I didn't hate this movie. I just want to preface with that. But another thing that bothered me was like, I don't know if you know this feeling that you get with certain movies where you feel like there's gonna be a reveal, and you feel like they're setting up reveals.
Yeah.
And then there's never a reveal. I hate that because you're always like, oh, maybe, and even at the end there's like a dream sequence where it's like seems like there's going to be this big revelation, and there's not
nothing.
There's nothing,
yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, all right. And then you just kind of feel kind of honey-dicked, and I don't want my dick being honeyed.
You don't? It sounds like it might be.
I mean, not without my consent ahead of time. And
Bong
didn't give my consent.
You want hot honey? You just want a really tingly sensation?
Listen, I'm down for anything. Just, I got to know ahead of time before the honey comes out. That's all I'm saying.
Consent is important.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Exactly. So, I just felt that like throughout the movie, there's a couple little things where like, there's like, he talks to the alien for the first time and it's like, the alien's like, hey, Mickey. He's like, how do you know my name? He's like, it's a secret. And I'm like, ooh, are these like super like, like, are these aliens going to be like some sort of symbolic connection or like it's actually in his head or something,
No,
it's not. No,
never.
It's just, they just don't explain it.
Never. Yeah. I mean, I think that's the real challenge with this movie is it doesn't know how to get to the second part. And so it kind of just railroads you into it, which is just like, I think the reason why we're complaining about this is unlike most movies we complain about because they're objectively terrible.
They're horrible. Yeah. This is not horrible.
This is really good. And it just, there's so much promise and we're frustrated that it didn't deliver.
So
on
exactly right. It starts off and I'm like, I'm in.
Yeah.
I dig it. Style, actors, everything's so good. And I love this director, so he's like it's gonna be good. And then it almost just stays surface level. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It never gets to like a point where there's like it's like they committed like, oh, this is gonna be a silly romp.
Yeah.
And not have any deeper themes, even though they deal with like again like colonialism and like how bad that is. It's not like it's still like a goofy ride as opposed to like having these moments of like, oh wow, that's heavy. You know, it's just all felt very. I can't put it any better than surface level, like just having fun, which is fine if if that's what the vibe you wanted. But it just felt like wasted potential.
Yeah, I think I'll read the book at some point because I'm very curious to see.
Read it now.
The depth it goes to. Okay,
on the air.
Okay.
Buckle up. Buckle up, boys and girls. This is not an audio. This is not an audio book. This is just us listening to him reading. In his
Space
head.
colonist Mickey Barnes.
In his head.
AKA. Oh.
Enjoy. This is ASMR book reading. It's beautiful.
Nice.
And?
Yeah, same story.
Same thing. Okay.
Same thing. But yeah, I'm just curious because I feel like the book probably has a lot more space to really dive into all these things we're wishing for. And I don't think it's Bong Joon-ho's fault. I just think it's so hard. Look at fucking Harry Potter. Harry Potter did 7 books, 8 movies, and now they're coming back with a TV series because A, like money, but B, they miss so much shit in the books that they can do with the TV series. So
the only thing I know about the books that I read online is that I don't think people are as stupid. Like Steven Yeun's character,
right,
was apparently like him and his girlfriend. What's her name?
Nasha.
Nasha were both like really good at their jobs. Where like he was like a great pilot, she was like a great, and apparently the reason why Mickey kept losing money was because Steven Yeun's character wanted to become a professional athlete. And Mickey kept betting against him, and he just kept winning. so, like, I think I don't think he was as scummy as he was in this, which I don't think is a bad change. I think that the tone of I don't want to speak to the tone of the book. I don't know what I'm talking about. I didn't read the book, so I'm going to stop talking.
Okay, let's. I think this is a good time for us to cycle off of talking about the book, and let's speculate on what was in the book and stay with some fun questions.
Okay, let's do it.
And maybe we'll learn something from there. I think the first thing I want to know, Toni Collette, who played Ylfi, is what it says here. Don't know how to pronounce it. It's Ylfi.
You gotta hit that. Gylfi. I like goofy.
Yeah. She kept making sauce for everybody.
Yeah.
To the point where she clipped off the little like worm slug's tail. More like an armadillo, I guess, based on how the tail came out. Anyway, it's not important. But she clipped it off and she just put it in like a fucking magic bullet.
Yeah.
And whipped it up into sauce and then made everybody try her sauce. And she was obsessed with sauce.
Listen, if you're that obsessed with sauce, you can't just grind up a raw ingredient that is a form of meat and expect it to taste good.
Sir, you just wait until you come over to my house.
Oh boy.
I blend you up some steak sauce. Raw steak sauce.
Steak. Yeah. It's not steak. It's not sauce for steak. It's steak sauce.
No, that's right.
I'm excited.
But like why
it's so chewy.
It's so creamy. The mouthfeel is just wow.
Yeah, I think
why was she so obsessed with that shit?
Again, this is another one of those things where I was like, thought they were going to lead into something, maybe like that she was like they were going to kill the staff to make them into a type of
poison,
food, or
it was a control thing, like
or like it's going to be like a Soylent Green type thing, it's like the sauce is people, it's people. But it was just she just liked sauce, and that is all.
Yeah, If I had to guess, if I was going to speculate,
let's figure this out. Let's crack this code.
I think it's because the trip on the spaceship, the food, they had hard rations, right? Everyone was rationed down, and it looked like slime. And so I think having a sweet sauce, like ketchup, putting ketchup on stuff, it really just makes it ketchup.
Make a big difference.
So my guess would be that she was trying to create space ketchup. And without tomatoes, which made it hard. And so I guess if you don't have tomatoes or vegetables, you go with meat.
Alien tails.
Alien meat tails.
Why go right for the tails? You got to assume there's some sort of bone and cartilage in there. You know, that's not how you.
Yes,
that's not how you eat an animal.
But tails, famously, all tails regenerate once cut off.
This guy sauces.
Yeah, I sauce.
This guy sauces. He knows. Yeah, I mean, you'd have to imagine. I mean, there's only so many reasons why someone would be obsessed with sauces. The most logical being she wanted different flavors.
Sure. For the sludge.
And I'm not one to judge. I'm a big sauce guy. I'm a big garlic aioli fan.
Yeah.
I won't eat pizza without it.
You order garlic aioli.
Yeah, I get a side garlic aioli. I get a side chipotle mayo. I get something because I don't like dry foods. Even foods that are not dry can be wetter. Okay.
He likes his food to be moist.
I like it to be. Listen closely, moist. And I guess she just wanted to moisten up her slime because they were already eating. That's the thing. She was already eating slimy textures. You don't put a sauce on a Jell-O,
don't you?
We're gonna get back to you, listeners.
we have some tests to run.
Yeah, we'll be right back. You hear worst podcast ever.
But like, I mean, that's it, right? Like, it's got to be a control thing because she was clearly like, she was manipulating Mark Ruffalo's character and also his weird priest / butler, his Alfred. I don't know what that guy's job was. At first, he was the butler, and then he just became more and more like his cinematographer, and it was weird.
Yeah.
But like, so she was trying to control him, and so I thought maybe it was just like the sauce kept him dumb and impressionable.
You think these sauces had like a mind-altering effect?
Yeah, like a reverse.
You know what? I just think I actually figured out what the actual thing was.
Okay.
Because they constantly talking about protein in the movie.
Yeah.
Right? And not having enough like they're like, oh, it'll burn calories and you'll need more protein. So
yeah, you can't have sex.
Yeah, because exactly. So I think she was trying to make a protein sauce that could be easily
reverse Viagra, if you will.
Yeah, that could be easily dispensed among her population. Why they don't just eat the animals instead of making them into sauce? Just lazy cooking, I guess.
You don't understand sauce, and you never will with that attitude. Moving on.
Saucier.
Kai is in the movie. Kai is the other security woman.
She is in the movie.
She is in the movie. She is the other security woman that is competing with Nasha for Mickey. I don't know. But this brings me to my actual question about Kai. Who Kai? Where Kai? What Kai? How Kai? Why Kai?
Yeah. I think the most important one is where Kai.
Yeah.
Because they spend a good amount of time with Kai, making it seem like she's had some sort of arc.
Mm-hmm.
And then she is just missing for the final act of the movie.
Gonzo.
She's just gone.
They play her like she might be gay, and
oh, definitely.
And then she tries to hop on Mickey's penis,
which I gotta say, I love how Mickey's character, if you watch the movie, is like the worst, most unconfident, biggest like loser guy. But he still looks like Robert Pattinson, so he just gets all the ladies. And I'm
Women
like,
are just
I respect that. I respect that movie choice. It's like, yeah, he's a big loser, but he's still Robert Pattinson.
He's still
he's still right.
He's still bringing it.
It's not like the classic like teen movie where they put the glasses on the girl and they're like, oh my god, she's so ugly. It's like, no, he could wear shitty clothes and talk like a loser, and he'd still be getting girls left and right.
It's fine. Especially on a spaceship where it's like, it's like the Office hot, right? It's like you might think he's a dumb idiot, but you spend enough time with him, it's like, well, his body's all right.
He's not too bad.
He's coming around.
he's growing on me. He looks a little bit like Batman.
He does look a little like Batman. But so she one would assume she's into that girl that dies at the beginning of the movie, and then she throws herself at Mickey. And then at the end, they bring her back after she's been missing for 25 minutes straight.
Yes,
she shows
back her girlfriend.
and then bring a girlfriend for her. And so it's just like,
somehow, which also is not explained. They cloned her.
oh, that's just a different girl.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, because the first girl had blonde hair, I thought, and the other one was.
Oh, I thought it was
shaved.
the same girl.
Listen, it's not important.
I thought they cloned her.
They threw a lot of stuff at you.
Life comes at you fast.
It comes at you fast. But so she was back to being into girls, which is cool. Live your truth. I don't care. Whatever. But it's just so much throwaway stuff where I actually like I don't actually care about you.
I don't. So. Yeah, I didn't care. I was caring about her because they were like, she's so sad about her dead girlfriend that she tries to seduce Mickey, and again, cool.
That's just tradition.
This is like Star Trek, you know.
Yeah,
sex is, you know, a construct.
If if Data can bang, anybody can bang.
Yeah, Data can bang.
Yeah,
he is fully operational.
Mr. Data fucks.
Yeah,
it's canon.
It is canon. Fully operational. Sit penis stun. I don't. So.
Anyways,
Kai. Yeah, but in the movie, she's has this like what seems like a character arc where she's, you know, everybody like doesn't give a shit about Mickey, it seems, and then you know, all of a sudden, because he's expendable, and then they go to dinner, and she's like, they're like
defending
testing raw meat on him, and he's puking and he gets really sick, and she's like, what are you doing this? You're monsters. He's a person. I'm like, okay. She's like starting to see him, and then she tries to kiss him, and then she tries to buy him kind of off the other girl, like, so he's not a person, he's just a sex object, and then she disappears. She shoots.
Gone.
Doesn't she do some shooting at some point?
She shoots the little worms because they crack that rock open and the slugs are inside of it. I was expecting something to be in there. I was expecting to be like something actually dangerous, not just baby slugs. But
I know. I was kind of expecting, again, one of those things where it's like setting up a mystery that doesn't pay off, which seems to be reoccurring. So it's the big complaint is your question, why is Kai? I think my guess is they had a plan for her that was cut, but I'm going to guess what the plan was. She was going to end up with one of the Mickeys, and the other one wasn't going to die.
Yeah,
because that's or she was going to help with this revolution and help with the plan to stop them killing the aliens, because that would have made sense because they needed help. You know how there was like that girl who was like with the glasses who was like all of a sudden at the end like helping them, and that agent guy who was like, you're under arrest for being the bad guy that you've been the entire movie, Mr. President. For some reason now we are sick of it. I wonder if she was going to do that role. She should have done that role. She should have been the one to.
I bet you every one of those characters are actually like big important people in the book, right?
Yes.
And so she's important. I think she has an arc. I think she gets with one of the Mickeys, or she doesn't get with one of the Mickeys ever, because they needed a vehicle for Mickey to spill his brain about how he feels. I bet you she's just into girls the entire time,
and
people watching the movie would never accept a
just a gay character, so they have to kiss.
Yeah. So they have to like make sure that she's like, she's not really.
Why would a man talk to a woman unless they're banging?
Unless they're banging or trying to bang.
That's like the producers.
Men and women can't be friends, so they need to. She needs to try to bang him.
Yeah, this is the scene where Mickey opens up about how sad he is about his girlfriend. Okay, so they banging? They're just talking out in the. Okay, put it in her bedroom and make them bang.
But what if she tries to bang him?
Ooh.
And he says no? So he's a good guy, but we still get the bang bang.
So you're talking woke now. I like it. We're gonna woke it up a little. It's not bad because she's trying to bang him.
Yeah, that's cool. That's what we all want to see,
right? Write it in. Send me my check in the mail.
Fire it up. But I think I think she matters. I think that she helps out. She helps them talk to the Lizard Queen, or like take down Ruffalo from the inside. And I think she's a big deal, right? I think she's probably like it's Mickey, Nasha, and then her and Steven Yeun's character are like all. That's the crew.
Yeah,
that's the main
I
four
feel like
that gets shit done.
I feel like you're so right that now that you pointed out that these are probably all characters in the books that had like a lot of like them just doing missions together, scenes of character development where like they like were in it a lot, but they weren't like in the finale. So they were like, we gotta have them in the movie, but we're not gonna have like a bunch of scenes of them just doing missions and developing them because we have no time.
I bet you Steven Yeun's character comes across as being like straight laced and his friend, and it's a big reveal in the book that he like fucks him over somehow.
It's a good guess,
but in the movie, they're just like they play it as goofy, so when it happens, it's less taxing on the viewers to like have this information thrown at them. You don't want to be blindsided by it like a betrayal, right?
Well, especially when you don't have to like commit to the time they have like of developing a friendship to have the betrayal. Because if it was just like, this is your friend and he betrayed you, you know,
Betrayal.
It's like, who cares?
All right, well, I guess he's dead.
Like, we'll just make him a scumbag from the beginning. So,
yeah, easier said than done. I have one more question for you before we get out of here.
Yes,
it's simple. It's easy. What was the dream sequence with Mickey and Gylfi at the end?
I felt like I dreamed that.
What? That was, I think, the biggest betrayal of the whole movie.
It truly was.
It comes after the climax. Everything is done.
It's over. It was like an Avengers post-credit scene almost, but it was pre-credits.
Yeah,
it's a pre-credits, post-credit scene.
Hit us is like, you're gonna hit us with some wisdom. It's gonna be fucking Thanos is coming.
Yeah, this is big. Like, he like goes in and he sees Toni Collette, and Toni Collette is
making another Ruffalo,
and I thought they were gonna be like, she's also a clone, and he's a clone, and they're all clones, and they've been on a ship for 2,000 years. You know,
everybody is fucking.
They're all expendables.
17s.
Yeah, exactly, or something.
Yeah.
And instead, she drops a drop of liquid on the floor and tells him tells him to taste it. He does, questionably. And then she tries to print Mark Ruffalo. And then what happens? Is that it? Wasn't there something? She says some shit to him about him being worthless.
He decides he's in control because it's just his dream, and that's the end.
Oh fuck! It's so lazy. I'm in control now because I'm dreaming. But what about when you're not dreaming? Well, then I'm still not in control. Nothing's changed. Oh God! What a crazy dream. That was what a strange wet dream.
Why am I hard? Oh, never mind.
Yeah, like that. It was a classic, like felt like a reveal, but it was a dream sequence, which is just the worst. Because he's like, oh, you died, because they say she died. They're like, remember they say something like she just killed herself after Mark Ruffalo's character died, and then she's still there. So you're like, oh, some shit's going down.
Yeah. Or not.
So my answer is to what that was it was in my head canon.
Right.
That happened. And they are all clones of people. And she killed that Mickey and made another clone without those memories. Boom.
Similar to you, except everybody on the ship but Mickey is a clone.
Okay.
But they've imprinted his memory with thoughts of him being the only clone.
Why?
I don't know. I don't have to justify my answer to you.
Justify my twist endings? That's for video essayists to debate.
Let some nerd on YouTube answer for
they can figure it out. Some fucking podcaster will figure this out. Yeah.
I create. I don't have to explain my creations.
J.J. Abrams method of writing.
Let's
create a big mystery and then like read the comments on what people's answers are and just cherry pick the best ones.
That one sounds great. I like that.
Yeah, let's go with that one. It's purgatory.
And as soon as you catch up to me and you won't ask me like, what are you doing? I lens flare and I wipe your brain.
Yeah, like MIB the MIB gun.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect. And we're out. Cut to black.
Cut to black. We're done. Alrighty. Hey, normally we do a review at the end of this, but I think let's slightly change it. If someone listened to this and is going to explain to their friends why they should see Mickey 17 or shouldn't, and they don't know because they're confused about the movie,
Yes.
can you help them?
Yes. I would say, hello, friendo.
Hello.
Do you like sci-fi films?
Me like sci-fi.
Do you like Goofy?
Me like Goofy.
You like goofy sci-fi films?
Me like goofy sci-fi films.
We see Mickey 17. You like.
Oh, me like Mickey 17.
And scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but I like really. I think that's all you like. I think if I went into this movie expecting it to not be serious at all, I would have probably enjoyed it more. It was.
Yeah.
It was the hope. Hope is the greatest destroyer.
You ever watch Wag the Dog?
No.
It's an older film. It's old because I'm old.
I recognize the name.
Yeah, it's like not De Niro.
Al Pacino?
Dustin Hoffman.
The fake movie?
Yeah, the basic premise is like he is a director.
Fake war?
He created a fake war and made him a hero and the political thing. And like, you know, it goes through the story of like he did this great thing. He made the perfect story and he never can take credit for it because no one can know he ever did it. But it's like, it's satirical about, you know, America's thoughts on war and how they build heroes and stuff up. But it's like, it's meant to be satirical and funny all the way through. It's like, you know, but like, if this movie feels like it got caught between being serious sci-fi and satirical, and it tries to blend them, and it's like blending, what's two things that shouldn't blend together? I don't know, meat as a sauce.
Yeah, meat and blenders.
Yeah.
Like when you hear sci-fi and satire, for me, my brain goes to Starship Troopers, and it goes, "Oh man, I'm gonna love this movie."
Yes,
but Starship Troopers was good because it was satire played dead straight.
Yeah.
And if this movie did that, I would like it way more. But it's almost like everyone in the movie is in on the joke.
Yes,
where that doesn't work in my opinion. It works when they feel like the characters in the movie are not in on the joke. Like they feel like they're making like a true sci-fi movie, but it's ridiculous themes and messages that are actually like wrong. Right?
Like meat sauce.
Like meat sauce. So, sorry, let me try this again. Hello, friendo.
Hello.
Do you like meat sauce?
Me no understand meat sauce.
You like raw meat blended?
Me try once. Me go hospital.
You know like Mickey 17.
Oh, okay. Me no watch.
And scene. All right. I think that was accurate.
Great job. All right.
Perfect.
Yeah. Thank you. That consists of our short, quick in movie flight review of Mickey 17. If you return next week, we will probably have watched The Electric State. If not, I will tell Spencer about the Minecraft movie.
Oh,
he has not seen it. I have, so that'll go brilliantly for all of us.
Out of Mickey 17, what would you give it? Would you give it like a Mickey 9?
Hello, friend.
Hello, friend.
You like Jack Black?
I like Jack Black.
You like Jason Momoa?
I like Jason Momoa.
You like No Plot?
I like No Plot.
You like Minecraft?
I like Minecraft.
Yeah.
And scene. Perfect. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad
everybody.
I'm gonna go see Minecraft.
Fantastic.
We like Minecraft.
All right. We will see you all next week.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.